The moment humans see the massive skeletons of dinosaurs, it is easy to believe that the larger a creature is, the more dangerous it must be. But science has uncovered a shocking truth. Those skeletons can sometimes deceive us. For more than 160 million years of dominating the Earth, many dinosaur species grew to enormous sizes. Yet most of these giants were simply herbivores, surviving through their strength and size, rather than their ability to hunt and kill. So what truly makes a creature dangerous? It is not weight, but the way it survives. A smaller predator with speed, reflexes, intelligence, and effective strategies could be far more terrifying than a massive creature. Fossils reveal that many of the most dangerous dinosaurs were not the largest, but the ones that evolved into perfect hunting machines. They had sharp claws to hold their prey in place, precise vision to calculate distance, speed to chase their targets, and they may have even worked together in groups. But what is strange is that evolution did not only create killers, it also created creatures carrying terrifying weapons that never hunted at all. Some species possessed claws nearly a meter long, like weapons of destruction, yet they only ate plants. This shows that nature does not create monsters in the way humans imagine. And sometimes the most dangerous creature is not the one that looks the most like a monster, but the one we never expected. A creature that could grow nearly 10 meters long, weigh several tons, and possess a massive body structure that would make any predator think twice. That creature was Therizinosaurus, the scythe lizard, one of the strangest creatures to ever exist on Earth. Therizinosaurus was not a predator, it was a herbivore. In a world where sharp teeth and powerful jaws determined survival, Therizinosaurus chose a completely different path. Around 70 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, Earth was a harsh world where giant dinosaurs competed for survival. In that environment, Therizinosaurus, despite being a plant eater, could not survive through gentleness and slowness alone, because danger was always lurking from predators. Therefore, evolution created a strange creature with enormous claws that helped it pull down high branches for food, while also becoming a terrifying tool of self-defense. When facing Tarbosaurus, the Asian relative of T-Rex with razor-sharp teeth and overwhelming strength, Therizinosaurus would seem like an easy target. This herbivore could not run fast enough to escape, nor did it have powerful jaws to fight back. However, instead of fleeing, it possessed something that could make even the most aggressive predators hesitate: massive claws nearly 1 meter long on its front limbs. These claws were not only used for gathering food, but also served as a terrifying defensive weapon. When threatened, Therizinosaurus could raise its body, spread its front limbs, and use its long claws like living blades to intimidate its enemies. A powerful strike from these claws might not necessarily kill a Tarbosaurus, but even a deep wound could be enough to make an apex predator reconsider before continuing the hunt. A giant claw does not necessarily belong to a predator. A creature that looks like a monster is not always a hunter. Sometimes, the most frightening appearance is simply a survival strategy. But this paradox opens the door to an even greater question. If a herbivore could already possess such incredible weapons, then how far had the true predators of that era evolved? After discovering that a creature does not need to be gigantic to become a threat, we continue into a new and more frightening chapter of dinosaur history. These were the raptor family, a group of dinosaurs that changed the way we view danger. The name Velociraptor has long become a symbol of intelligent, agile, and ruthless predators. But the truth is even more astonishing than what movies have shown. Velociraptor was actually much smaller. It was not a giant monster capable of easily overpowering humans like in films. Its true size was only comparable to that of a large turkey, but that small size was exactly what made it a deadly advantage. Because in nature, a lighter body means greater speed, faster movement, and more precise reactions. Velociraptor did not need absolute strength. It needed precision. Fossils show that this species possessed a body structure optimized for hunting. Its powerful legs allowed it to accelerate quickly, while its curved sickle-shaped claws could lock onto prey, hold onto the victim's body, and create deep wounds. But its most terrifying weapon was not only in its claws, but in the way it thought. Compared to many other dinosaurs of the same era, the raptor group had more developed brains. This suggests that they may have possessed the ability to observe, react, and adapt faster in a highly competitive environment. A simple predator would only rush forward to attack, while an intelligent predator would know when to wait, when to approach, and when to deliver the final strike. However, if Velociraptor was a compact assassin, then its larger relatives transformed that formula into a true nightmare. This was Utahraptor. Unlike its smaller relative, Utahraptor possessed an astonishing size. With a length that could reach around 5 to 7 meters and a weight close to 1 ton, it combined the power of a large predator with the speed and agility of the raptor group. A massive curved sickle claw on its hind foot was not only used for attacking, but could also penetrate deep into the prey's body, lock the victim in place, and leave them helpless. Once that claw had latched on, escape was almost impossible. They represented a completely different path of evolution, not becoming larger, but becoming smarter, and this opened the door to an even greater mystery. Did these assassins only hunt alone? Or did they know how to cooperate with each other? Some evidence from fossils has led scientists to suggest that certain raptor species may have once operated in groups, sharing roles while chasing prey. Their targets may not have been the largest creatures, but prey that was large enough to provide energy. Small and medium-sized herbivores, such as smaller theropods, young horned dinosaurs like Dinosaurs, or weak, old, and injured individuals could have become ideal targets. Instead of rushing into a chaotic attack, a group of raptors may have used surrounding tactics. Some individuals moved ahead to apply pressure, forcing the prey to change its direction, while others moved around the sides to cut off escape routes. When the prey began to tire, lose direction, or become separated from the group, they would finally launch their attack. The sickle claw on their hind feet was not only used to cause injuries, but also helped them hold tightly onto the prey's body, keeping the victim helpless while other individuals continued attacking. What made this strategy terrifying was that each individual did not need to be the strongest. A single raptor might fail, but an entire group became a collective hunting brain. In the millions of years-long race for survival, every dinosaur species discovered its own path to becoming a dominant force. Some transformed their brains into weapons, using strategy and numbers to overpower prey. But others chose a different direction, turning their own bodies into instruments of destruction. Because before hunting groups like raptors appeared, another world had existed, where giant predators roamed through the forests of the Jurassic period. They did not need complex cooperation or long pursuits. And one of the most iconic predators representing this style of evolution was Allosaurus, a creature that transformed its own skull into a living weapon. More than 150 million years ago, when Earth was a world of massive forests and creatures unlike anything seen in history. This was the age when giant dinosaurs roamed the land, and life was constantly shaped by an endless battle for survival. In that world, one of the most terrifying predators emerged. It was not the largest creature, nor did it possess the strongest bite, but it had something that made it a nightmare of the Jurassic period. A living axe created from its own skull. That creature was Allosaurus. When people think of dangerous predators, they often imagine creatures with enormous jaws capable of crushing their prey. But Allosaurus chose a different path. With a body measuring around 8 to 10 meters long, a large head, and curved, razor-sharp teeth, it did not kill its prey through absolute bite force. Instead, it transformed its skull into a biological axe. Allosaurus could open its jaws wide, drive its head downward, and use the power of its neck muscles to create deep wounds, causing its prey to bleed and weaken over time instead of being killed instantly. In the late Jurassic ecosystem, where massive sauropods existed, hunting large prey was an extremely dangerous challenge. Some fossil evidence shows that multiple Allosaurus individuals appeared together, leading scientists to suggest that they may have cooperated while hunting. If this was true, Allosaurus was not only a powerful predator, but also a warrior capable of using the strength of the group to survive. But the race for survival never stopped at how terrifying a predator's weapons could become. In the dinosaur world, every new advantage that appeared forced others to adapt. Sharper teeth, stronger bites, or more effective ways of attacking could all shift the balance between predator and prey. At another point in Earth's history, a group of carnivorous dinosaurs took that strategy to a whole new level. They did not only hunt with their teeth and claws, but through the coordination of an entire group. This was Maposaurus, a predator compared to a giant warrior of the Cretaceous period. With a length that could exceed 10 meters, a body weighing several tons, and jaws filled with blade-like teeth, Maposaurus was one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs to ever exist. Its appearance alone was enough to make any creature in the ancient world cautious, but size was not what made Maposaurus truly terrifying. The secret lay in the way it hunted. In nature, a lone predator, no matter how powerful, still has limits, because it only has one body to attack with and a limited amount of time before the prey escapes. But when multiple predators cooperate, the hunt is no longer a simple confrontation. It becomes a battle with a clear strategy, surrounding, applying pressure, and attacking from multiple directions. A giant sauropod weighing nearly 80 tons could make any predator hesitate. But for a group of Maposaurus, enormous size did not mean being unbeatable. Instead of rushing into a direct attack, they may have used an exhaustion strategy. Some individuals would repeatedly move closer, biting into softer areas of flesh to create wounds, then quickly retreat before the long neck or massive tail could strike back. When the prey turned to defend itself, other individuals would approach from another direction. The hunt did not end within a few minutes, but became a prolonged struggle. Each bite caused the sauropod to lose more energy, move slower, and become less capable of protecting itself. After repeated attacks, even a creature weighing tens of tons could become exhausted against the persistence of an entire hunting group. Scientists believe that Maposaurus may have hunted in groups based on fossil evidence that has been discovered. A single Maposaurus was already dangerous with its enormous size, sharp teeth, and overwhelming strength. But a group of them could create a much greater threat. However, scientists still cannot confirm with certainty whether they truly coordinated like modern predators. because fossils are only the remaining pieces of a world that disappeared millions of years ago. When species like Maposaurus began turning cooperation into a terrifying weapon, the creatures being hunted were also forced to evolve in order to survive. They could no longer rely only on running away, but had to find ways to fight back using their own bodies. From that moment, the dinosaur world entered a new battle, where not only predators became more dangerous, but prey also gradually transformed into warriors capable of facing the most terrifying assassins. After millions of years of evolution, the dinosaur world became a massive arena where every creature had to find its own way to survive. Predators constantly developed new weapons for killing. From speed, claws, coordinated strategies, to jaws capable of tearing prey apart. But in this battle for survival, there was a truth few expected. Prey did not simply run away, they evolved as well. And sometimes, the hunted creatures became monsters that forced even predators to hesitate. One of the most astonishing examples was Ankylosaurus. It did not run, it fought back. Its body was covered with layers of hard bony armor like a natural shield, creating a defense system that forced many predators to think twice before attacking. But what made it truly unique was not only its defensive ability. At the end of its tail was a structure resembling a massive club made of bone, a weapon capable of delivering powerful strikes strong enough to seriously injure an attacker. However, Ankylosaurus was not the only defensive warrior of the ancient world. Triceratops, with 3 large horns on its head and an incredibly powerful skull. Triceratops was not just a giant herbivore, but a warrior capable of facing the most dangerous predators of its era. Its 3 forward-facing horns could be used for stabbing, defense, or pushing back opponents. Meanwhile, its massive skull frill at the back functioned like a protective shield, helping it withstand powerful attacks. And the most incredible part was that these creatures could face one of the most famous assassins in history, Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was a clash between 2 animals that had evolved to perfection, one side possessing powerful jaws with enormous teeth, and a hunting instinct built for killing. While the other had sharp horns, natural armor, and an unbreakable will to survive. But what made this battle fascinating was not about who was stronger, but that both had evolved to counter each other. Every advantage created a weakness, and every weapon created a new form of defense. One name became a symbol of destruction. That was Tyrannosaurus Rex, a predator famous not only for its size, but also possibly one of the most complete hunting evolutions ever created by nature. By the end of the Cretaceous period, one creature appeared and seemed to have reached the limits of evolutionary perfection. It was not only larger and stronger, but also possessed traits that made it one of the most terrifying predators ever to exist on Earth. That was Tyrannosaurus rex, the tyrant lizard king. T-Rex was not the first carnivorous dinosaur, nor was it the only predator ruling its era. Before it, there were assassins like Allosaurus, Mapusaurus, and predators from the raptor group. But what made T-Rex different was that it did not seem to possess just one unique weapon. It possessed them all. With a length of around 12 to 13 meters, a height that could reach nearly 4 meters at the hips, T-Rex was a massive hunting machine. What made T-Rex a symbol of destruction was its optimization. Its teeth were not only sharp enough to tear flesh, they were thick, powerful, and capable of enduring enormous forces. Its teeth, stretching dozens of centimeters long, had a structure resembling bone blades designed to pierce through skin, muscle, and even crush the bones of its prey. Unlike many predators that only attacked soft tissue, T-Rex could turn even bones into a source of food. Scientists estimate that the bite force of T-Rex was among the strongest of any known land animal. Each bite was not simply a wound, it was a strike capable of shattering bones, breaking the structure of the body. T-Rex also possessed senses that made it a terrifying hunter. Its large skull contained a brain that was more developed than many other dinosaurs, allowing it to process information quickly. Its powerful sense of smell helped it detect traces from long distances, while its forward-facing eyes created the ability to see in depth, allowing it to judge distances more accurately. This transformed T-Rex from a giant beast into a strategic predator, one that did not simply rely on strength, but knew how to use its strength. In the ancient forests and plains of the late Cretaceous period, T-Rex stood in a position with almost no rivals. Giant herbivorous dinosaurs such as Triceratops and Hadrosaur species had to face a constant threat. But the dominance of T-Rex also raised a major question. Was it truly the perfect predator? Around 66 million years ago, a massive extinction event ended the reign of non-avian dinosaurs. A world once dominated by giant creatures suddenly changed forever. Scientists have discovered signs of injuries on the bones of many dinosaur individuals, including bite marks, broken bones, and evidence of healing. This shows that even the creatures at the top of the food chain were once injured. once defeated, and once forced to fight for survival. The fossils left behind after millions of years are not just petrified bones, but evidence that records some of the fiercest battles for survival in Earth's history. Every bite mark, fracture, or sign of healing on bones reveals that dinosaurs were not unstoppable machines of destruction, but creatures that were once injured, defeated, and forced to fight in order to survive. In the ancient world, life was an endless race. Predators evolved to become more dangerous, but prey also developed armor, defensive weapons, and survival strategies to fight back against them. Fossil discoveries show that many species once faced each other directly, competing for territory, food, and dominance, creating an ecosystem where no one was truly unbeatable. This changes the way humans view dinosaurs. Danger did not only come from size or strength, but also from the ability to adapt, intelligence, and the way they used their environment. However, after millions of years of dominance, a global disaster changed everything. Although many theories suggest that an asteroid was the main cause, the question still remains. Did the fall of the dinosaurs come from an external event, or did their dependence on a stable world prevent them from adapting? In the end, the creatures that once ruled Earth did not disappear because they were weaker, but because the world around them changed too quickly. Yet their traces still remain, because part of the dinosaur lineage continued to evolve and survive in the form of creatures that soar through the skies today. The journey of prehistoric assassins has not ended, but has only moved into a new chapter in the history of evolution. Millions of years ago, dinosaurs ruled the Earth with terrifying predators, such as T-Rex, Velociraptor, and Allosaurus. But their existence was not based only on strength. It also depended on their ability to adapt. When the end Cretaceous disaster occurred, the asteroid impact changed the global environment, collapsed the food chain, and caused many dinosaur species to disappear. However, that was not the end, because a small branch of theropod dinosaurs survived and evolved into the modern birds we see today. For many decades, humans believed that the extinction of dinosaurs was a complete ending. A massive asteroid struck Earth, creating dust and toxic gases that covered the sky and changed the global climate. Sunlight decreased, plants gradually died, food chains collapsed, and countless species disappeared. This was considered the simplest explanation for the end of an era. But fossils tell a more complex story. Not all dinosaurs vanished. A small branch of these ancient predators survived that catastrophe. They were no longer giant monsters towering meters above the ground, and they no longer hunted massive prey across the ancient plains, but they changed in order to survive. These were the theropod dinosaurs, the group of creatures that later evolved into the modern birds we see every day. It may have been their smaller size, ability to conserve energy, and rapid adaptation that helped them overcome the extinction event, while larger species could not survive the harsh changes of Earth. The disappearance of dinosaurs was not only a disaster, but also a great transformation in the history of life. They did not completely vanish. Instead, they changed their form to continue existing. And this is the greatest secret revealed by fossils. The strongest is not always the largest, but the creature with the ability to adapt and evolve through every transformation of the world. Millions of years ago, Earth was once a world ruled by giant predators, such as Tyrannosaurus, Rex, Velociraptor, and Allosaurus. But the journey of evolution shows that danger did not come only from size, but also from the ability to adapt, strategy, and the way creatures survived. Every dinosaur species developed its own weapons, from terrifying claws, hunting speed, and coordination abilities, to the survival strategies that still carry traces of prehistoric assassins into the world today. In the end, what truly creates the most dangerous creature is not strength or size, but the ability to change in the face of environmental challenges. Dinosaurs did not dominate Earth through power alone. They survived because of evolution, and that is the true secret behind the greatest predators in history. Thank you for staying with WUFO Space until the very end of this journey through the vast universe. If you found this video interesting and insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to WUFO Space so you won't miss our next cosmic adventures. Your support means the world to us and fuels our passion to keep exploring the wonders beyond.